people want to be in the country, and their mindset of the country when they leave the city is, a simple life, safe life.
And though lifelong Tickfaw area resident Phil DiMaggio says that's the experience he has enjoyed for decades here in Tangipahoa Parish, it's changing. He learned that firsthand a few months ago when he was alerted to a suspicious car in his backyard and had to call the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office to look into it.
And at that point, the two deputies entered my home, and I'm standing in the yard, and the next thing I hear them hollering is, "Give me your hands." And a few minutes went by, and they walked out with two individuals with a rifle. It was scary for me because my wife and I have 7 children. So it's like with anything in life, it's never an issue till it comes knocking on our door.
But as more people have come into the parish in recent years, that knock of crime has gotten louder and more widespread, while the sheriff's office's primary tool to combat the source of that threat hasn't grown enough to keep up.
When I started my career in '93, we would have an average of maybe 1,500 to 2,000 telephone calls a month. Our average to date is 10,000 telephone calls a month, just in our division alone.
But the number of people answering those calls is exactly the same. The lack of adequate manpower to match the current 140,000 person population stretches across every division of the agency.
When I was in criminal investigations, I mean, our caseloads was, 40 to 50 open cases at a time. And, you could be in the middle of doing, 5 cases that day. And then all of a sudden, drop of the hat, you have a hot call comes out and the world stops.
We have 5 deputies and 2 supervisors for this entire parish on the road right now. And I don't know the square mileage for the parish off the top of my head. That's a lot of land to cover.
We are severely understaffed. We borrow or use deputies from other departments. Just about every Monday is our inmate day on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays, and again on Wednesdays, because we don't have the staff to man our courtrooms. And by using other deputies, that means we're putting in someone that may not be familiar with what needs to happen in a courtroom. And that puts the judge at risk. That puts the public at risk.
We just go all day. Sometimes I work 13-hour days when I should only be working an 8-hour day necessarily. I don't mind it all the time, but sometimes my family suffers because I'm here working longer, and it's just harder on your home life.
Some people are scared to work. They don't want to risk their lives for the amount of money that we do get here.
The pay is the other problem. Up until July of last year, deputies were making $13 an hour. Sheriff Gerald Sticker increased that rate to $16 an hour on his first day on the job. A year later, after cutting spending, increasing revenues, and developing more operational efficiencies, deputies got another raise to $18 an hour. But the staffing shortfall is still between 50 and 60 people because no one wants to work for that paltry pay. Former TPSO school resource officer Tina Ellis couldn't work for that pay anymore.
I wasn't making it, so I was forced to go other places just so I can maintain, financial stability to keep my home. And I just feel it's a shame because I'm not going to speak for some, I'm going to speak for all. When we come here, we give it 100, we give it our all. And it sounds sad, but we stand with expectancy. We want to be compensated, like other parishes.
Sheriff Sticker says the budget, as it stands now, is as readjusted and trimmed as it can responsibly be. So his current solution is to readjust how the budget is funded.
The plan starts with giving money back to property owners with the elimination of a 10 mil property tax. In return, we're asking everyone, residents and visitors, to invest less than a penny per dollar spent across our parish over the next 10 years. This trade will help TPSO hire more deputies who are better trained, better equipped, and better paid.
I like to see, more deputies on the road. Until we get some funding, we won't have that.
But I think if you have the good quality people working and they're making a livable pay that they're comfortable with, then they'll put forth that effort and give 110%.
That's a good idea because everybody's paying, not just people that own property. Everybody, when you go to a store, what's a penny on a dollar?
Anytime you have a tax, nobody likes to pay taxes. That's the reality of it. But unfortunately, that's the way we're going to continue to have the progression that we have and to make Tangipahoa Parish move forward.
You get what you pay for. If you don't invest properly in your parish, I guarantee you 25, 30, 40 years down the road, you wish you had. And you know who would be affected? We'll probably be gone, but our grandkids, our kids, our loved ones, they'll be affected by the fact that we didn't do what we should have done when we had the opportunity.
The future. That's what TPSO employees and many residents alike say they're focused on.
For young guys who's coming on this job, want to come here, be able to buy a home here, put their kids to school here, work here, and retire here. And don't leave and go somewhere else. Stay here. And that's one of the main things. They need to make money.
What's he going to be like in 10 years? What is our parish going to be like in 10 years? So it's not about whether you pay it or I'm paying it when I go see change. It's not about that. It's about your children, my first grandchild, our first grandson's coming. It's about your family, your neighbors. It's about, can you leave your shed open one night? Can you walk outside and go on vacation, not worry about someone breaking into your house? Can you build a home and come back the next day and all your tools will still be there?
Invest in your future. Because I'm an old man now. I consider myself an old man. But I got a young son who just moved into Tangipahoa Parish. He's got 3 kids. So that's what I'm looking for.
I think it helps the parish's future and the legacy of the parish to be able to have the right law enforcement in place to properly do the job.
For DiMaggio, that legacy includes bringing life in the country of Tangipahoa Parish back to its simple and safe roots.